What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And I'm still James.
I I didn't get there on time, so I'm still trying to get used to this video switching, where I can switch between both of us while we talking. So we got a movie review for Bad Boys for Life, Bad Boys Part 3. But before we do that, we got intro. All right, we back. So, Bad Boys 3, the third installment to the infamous Bad Boys started when that first one came out, like 94 or
I think so.
so.
It
This,
was it was somewhere around there.
yeah, I remember because this was when Martin and Will Martin and Fresh Prince was like pretty big, so it was like you know what I'm saying. It came at a perfect
Yeah.
time for both of their careers. Because I remember the Martin show was at its all time popular, and Fresh Prince had been on for a while, but he was still going strong though, and he was just really
Right.
starting to break out into movies. So yeah, Bad Boys for Life, the third installment to the Michael Bay directed franchise. How'd you like that cameo?
You know, look, everybody wants to be a part of their art, right?
Yeah, I know. When I saw him, I was like, dude, I was like, yeah, I knew he had to show up somewhere. I knew he
I
had to.
mean, come on, it was gonna happen.
Yeah, it's all good. So, this is the story of Mike Lowry and Marcus Brunette, and I remember from the first movie that they had this dynamic relationship, the Mike Lowry and the Marcus Brunette, where one dude was a straight man, other dude was the wild man. But see, I really wouldn't call Martin the straight man because he always cracking jokes, but he's
Right.
still the I ain't running into the building guy. I'm gonna wait out here, and that was the joke, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of always been their thing. You know, you got. Hold up. Are you getting echo from my end?
No,
Okay, then that's just on my end then. Anyways, uh, so that's always been their dynamic, right? So you got Will, always going in guns blazing, ain't got time for none of your nonsense. It's time to go. And then you got Martin over here. Man, you know they shooting, right?
yeah,
He always on that level. And they play off of each other really well still. So that's good to see.
I know that's one thing I like that they relationship. They do feel like they've been friends for a long time. You know what I'm saying? The way they interact, you don't get that sense of are they just two actors reading lines. You got
Right.
a sense of these dudes actually been boys for a long time and putting up with each other shit for a long time.
Yeah.
Excuse
I
me.
mean, that comes through super clear, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so they picked up where they left off with a relationship dynamic, and I really like that. And then when it first came on, Martin is like this calm demeanor where I was like, did Martin have a stroke or something, man? Because I was like, now I know Martin retired for a while from acting and whatever, so I was like, I hope he didn't retire because he was unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Where he just like,
Right.
and he just coming in, phoning it in because he, really just y'all lucky he here because he's really unhealthy. But as the movie went on, I was like, yeah, Marty Marr back. He started going back into his old self. He just a little less energy, but he's still, back to being his old self. Um, when the movie first kicked off, they fucking doing like a big cartoon. So like in Miami, I guess you could do that. So you got to establish something. They established something right off the bat. This is don't take this serious. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Beginning of the movie,
we
they established something. Don't take this serious. How'd you feel?
like immediately, welcome to the Bay universe. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like the
yeah,
rule of cool, directs all. It doesn't matter whether it makes sense. It doesn't matter the logistics of the thing. It's got to be cool and it's got to punch, and that's all that matters.
yeah. Because when it first start off, they are they in this big car chase. They driving through the crack. Man, I'm talking about reckless endangerment. So you think they chase these criminals, and you like, oh shit, they start off on a big criminal, a big criminal chase. It's a hunt. But
Right.
no, they going to they trying to make it to the hospital so Mark can see the birth of his grandbaby. But I'm talking about if you see it on the trailer, they got this bus in the way. They're like bus. He turned it, almost hit this big old hit a whole bus full of people, and I'm like okay, yeah, this I'm already got
Yep.
the right. I got the tone. I got the tone just from this one
Yep.
scene. I got the tone of this movie, so it's not gonna be serious. So I took my serious hat off. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you ain't gonna need that here.
But thank you for establishing that in the opening scene. You know what I'm saying? They didn't
Yeah.
fool you. How some movies they'll open it up. I mean, they'll make it look all serious, then they go tongue in cheek, then they go serious again. Like, nah, no. Let me know from the beginning what I'm dealing with, so I know what mindset to bring into
Exactly.
it. So we got Martin and Lauren. I'm sorry, Martin and Will together, of course, and so we got some new characters. I mean, they got a couple of old characters. They got the captain. I think that's the only old character from the other series.
I
The
think
captain.
so. Everybody else gone.
So they got the captain. He doing his same stick. He's doing his. I'm. Oh, you're gonna be. You're gonna. You're gonna cause me to drinking. The captain that's mad because his hotshot detective keep on dropping bodies. Which, by the way, Mike Lowry's a sociopath. I just want to get that out the
Yes.
way with.
Clearly. Clearly.
They made it
Like,
clear there's something wrong with Mike Lowry. What you about to say?
I just want to know what his a tally on his body count over this franchise, man. That's all I want to know.
Yeah,
Like, they need to start putting him on par with John Wick. I swear.
I know. Which in that movie they established that that's definitely not real. But this is a little more
Right.
realer than that one, where you can't rack up this many bodies and then just go back to work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you
Yeah.
supposed to see a psychologist after you shoot people?
Like, you're supposed to be off active duty for a while. You gotta fill out all kinds of forms. You gotta make sure that your head's right before they even let you back in the precinct.
Right. It's protocols that no, not Mike Lowry. Mike Lowry
No,
just
he shot 8 people and went right back to it.
So it was clear that it's clear to me that Mike Lowry's a sociopath. And it's like I'm like, okay, I thought I knew this guy, but now I'm realizing, oh, I didn't really know him like I know him now. I'm starting to
Right.
understand him more.
Right. This movie answered a lot of questions about that dude.
And then you got Martin Lawrence's character, Marcus Burnett, just telling him every day. You tell him the same shit every day. You messed up, Mike. Like,
You got problems, Mike.
yeah. So the movie kind of pick up, Marcus have his grandbaby. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and retire, and your boy Will don't like this at all. I was looking like, and when you see the movie play out, I'm thinking like, why do Will want Martin to be with him? He pretty much slows him down.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, that's how codependent relationships work, man. It's like, if he don't have him telling him not to do crazy shit, it's not gonna, drive him. He needs somebody to tell him not to, to drive him to do the crazy stuff that he does.
Yeah,
Like, if there's not someone in the passenger seat saying, "Don't you drive through that building? Don't
Right.
you drive through that building?"
Right.
Then he's not gonna drive through the
That
building.
is their relationship. That is their dynamic. Will Smith do crazy shit, and Martin tell him not to do it and yells at him, but he do it anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, Will, you don't need Martin to tell you not to do it. You still gonna do it. So why do you still why you need Martin yelling at you? You know what I'm saying? And then the physicality and Will's showing that he still got it. He's still in shape.
Right.
He still can do action. Like his action set pieces was done well. But I'm looking like
Yeah.
when it was time for Martin to do some action, it looked so bad. I was like, man, I could do a better job than what Martin's doing right now.
I don't know, man. I don't think you can play an old dude who's past his prime the way he does. Um,
No, I mean like the part. Okay, the part when he fighting the dude, and he tried to get on the motorcycle, and I'm like, Martin, do something. You know what I'm saying? And all he did was grab the dude on the arm, and the dude just turned around and kicked him in the chin and like, get the fuck off me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Martin.
I'm sitting watching it like, what was that going to do?
I know.
Like, you could have tackled him off the bike.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, Martin, do something, man. Come on. I'm trying to roll with this. I'm trying to say, you a cop too. So you don't like to get involved, but when you got to, you can do something. No, Martin couldn't do nothing. But crack
If this movie
jokes.
did anything, it cemented the fact that he was right when he said it was time to retire. Like, I don't know about Mike Lowry, but Marcus Burnett need to retire. Man.
But or at least be in a desk job. But see, this.
Right.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Every cop ain't meant to be no super action star. You can still be a good cop without running to the building and kicking ass and throwing people out windows. You can do investigative work, but it's just the fact that Mike Lowry want to run in and shoot everybody and kick people and shit, and Marcus Burnett is the guy that want to say, hey, let's talk them out. Let's talk this out first, and then we can. And that's not resort to violence. As a matter of fact, I got a clip that kind of cement this whole thing. So I'm gonna play this clip real quick.
So we just gonna do a knock and talk. What? Hey, look, all our lives we've been bad boys, all right? Now it's time to be good men. Who in the hell want to sing that song? Good man, what you gonna do? Well, maybe if you sing the song like you meant it, it'll catch on. No. Knock and talk. Yeah, knock, knock.
NYPD, get down! I need you on your knees with your hands behind your head right now.
That was just a scene of basically how this whole movie went, where one person say, "Hey, let's calm down and talk," another person like, "Okay," and kick in the door. That's how the relationship was.
Yeah.
But and this was probably a negative mark, but it's still, sometimes, like I said, since they established what kind of movie this was, I didn't really take too many points off for it. But they had a formula that they kept to throughout the whole movie, and that was they get a lead, they go to said lead, and then it turns to a big shootout, bloody mess. How many times did they do that?
At least 4, I think.
I mean, did they try to do a different formula on? I mean, did they try to change it up on any parts of the movie?
The only thing they changed was, instead of Mike always being the dude to shoot stuff up, you got your new side characters come in and shoot stuff up.
But they wasn't a shoot first team. They was a tech team for real. Now let's talk about the side characters. So we got a little. They end up getting with this new team called Ammo. They didn't even say what the acronym was, unless I missed it.
I didn't hear it.
Right, I'm pretty sure that's an acronym. But they had a little team, and which I was looking at like this team actually could make a nice little show. They use more tech. They use tech to do police work instead of old school. They kind of like saying, that old school police work is outdated. We don't need to kick in doors and shake down criminals and bend their arm back just to get information. No.
Right.
We use tech. We use cameras. We use all kind of computer systems to get this, to get that. So it was kind of a cool team because they had like drones and all this, cool stuff, and then they got all these damn young millennials, which I felt myself feeling like Will, where when Will, when Mike Larry met them, he was like, damn, these little high schooler kids, man. He's like, get your ass on.
You know, because like I'm looking at them like, and being a millennial, I'm looking like I know that person, I know that person, I know that person. Like I grew up around these people. It's like this ain't gonna work out.
Yeah, and then they trying to talk shit and get in his face and all that, and he kind of shut one of them down. Like,
Well, one of them was talking shit and trying to get up in his face. Everybody else was like, "It's such an honor to work with you, sir. I've heard so many things. You're so impressive." And then you got this guy. Hello there, Michael.
Yeah. The tough guy to click always want to come in. Like, oh yeah, hey old man, we got this. One of them kind of.
Yeah.
I knew one of them. I knew it was gonna happen, and you know how that's gonna work. And by the end of the movie, they cool, whatever. But they got this new team called Ammo. They working with them, and how in this thing, Mark is kind of like, yeah, they got some good ideas. He's like, no, let's do it our way. We bad boys for life. I'm looking like, Will, grow up, dog.
Like this whole movie is like, man, ain't you in your 50s? How is you still talking about? Nah, I'm a turn up.
Yeah. Well, Martin called him out on it. He was like,
I'm 29. I don't even say that stuff, man.
Right. He called him out on it like, we got to turn up. He's like, turn up, man. What are you, 20? Come on, dude. Like, we can't keep doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, actually, your boy Will got a brush with his immortality in the movie where he was, and he still was like, no, that's why I was like, okay, Will's sociopath.
Yeah. Like they even told him that you coded out 3 times.
So
that ain't important right now. I got to ride on these. Come on,
I
man.
got to ride on these. Man. Get your ass up. So let's talk about the villain. Now they did a little twist there, and we're not going to talk about that. But let's talk about the villain. I don't remember his name, and next time I'm gonna be more prepared. I'm gonna have the actors and the director and pictures, but right now I don't have it. But he was good when he was doing this action. Like I was impressed when I saw him, doing his little fight scenes and shooting.
Oh yeah, he can move, dude.
He was a badass.
Yeah.
But they did this little dynamic with him that I was like, I don't know about that one. How'd you feel about that, man? Without spoiling, how did you feel about what they did with the villain?
Man, I wasn't happy about that, dude. Like, it wasn't necessary. We didn't need that. I think it was bad for the story on the whole. We just didn't need it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so, and I'm not going to even talk about what they did, but let's just talk about. So they had a main villain was I guess I'm about to call her a Bruja, but they had the main villain was I guess she was like she was a wife of a Mexican cartel leader, I guess, and she was somebody that Mike Lowry put away a long time ago. So
right,
and
Isabel Aretas.
Yeah, and
the character's name.
I heard that she was the actress is real popular in those telenovelas, those Mexican soap operas, those Hispanic soap operas. Yeah, and that was kind of a homage to her, where they kept on watching those Spanish soap operas.
Because of course that's what Marcus is into.
Right. So he just watching the Spanish soap operas, but then that was an homage to her. She's a big star in that, and which I thought that was kind of cool. So this her son, she sends after Mike Lowry because he wanted revenge. It was one of those movies. It's kind of typical, but it still was it still was cool. Like when I said all the action, every time they chased the lead down, it turned into a huge bloody mess shootout. Now that happened. Now that's what I didn't like because that's the same aesthetic they use in the second movie, where every time they chase a lead down, it turned to a big massacre, a big shootout, a big action set piece. And it was
Yeah.
always in the middle of the investigation. It never just like something that randomly happened, or the bad guys didn't come to them; they came to them. So that makes
Yeah.
them responsible.
But,
Because
like it makes it even worse in this one because the bad guys are supposed to be after them.
right,
And every time things jump off, it's because they went after the bad guys. Like, I don't know how that happens.
right, agreed. And I'm like, okay, well, you logged in, you saying like, we're just going to investigate, or we just going to get a witness so he can talk or whatever, and it turned to a big shootout, and the witness always dies. It's like
Every time.
I was like,
Every time.
I'm like, how are they moving forward in their investigation?
Like, I'm gonna tell you what. If this movie hadn't ended the way it did, they all would have been fired because there would have been no case.
Yeah, yeah, I know. That's what they would have been fired since the first movie.
Yeah. Let's be real about it. Yeah.
Definitely the second movie. Definitely the second movie. When you had the highway chase scene in that second movie, that was ridiculous. Okay, so
Like, this is one of those ones where it's like, how are the good guys not in jail themselves?
yeah, I mean the carnage that they leave behind them. It's like somebody got to clean up that shit. You don't get to go back to work after you leave this many dead bodies and this much carnage. You can't just go back to
This
investigate.
folks firing rocket launchers on the freeway, machine guns.
I know, but that's not their fault. It's just the people that's after them, right?
I mean, I don't know. The machine gun may have belonged to the bad guys, but I think that was Marcus firing it.
Yeah, we can talk about that just a little bit, man. Why it just happened to be a motorcycle with the sidecar on there. But that scene actually was kind of dope. I ain't gonna lie. It was just so
sidecar.
convenient. Say what?
A heavily armed motorcycle and sidecar
But no,
with a pit bull.
But no, like I said, the action set piece was actually kind of fun, and like I said, once you decide what kind of movie this is before you see it, you won't be too out of it. But the problem, well, I ain't gonna say the problem. Some of my issues came with after a while. Martin was starting to get on my nerve because I knew they dynamic, but it was at some point I was like, Martin, you got to be useful at some point. At some point, you got to stop cracking jokes in the middle of gun battles and be useful. I mean that whole shtick to me was starting to get a little old. I don't know how you felt about it.
Nah, definitely. I definitely felt that, because like you put him in these situations where it's do or die. Somebody got to handle stuff. And it's like, come on, man, I don't do that no more. Then why are you here?
Right. Not even just that.
Why'd you come along if you ain't gonna do nothing when the stuff pop off? You know it's gonna pop off.
Right. I mean, it could have been to the point where I want to protect my friend, but it's just the fact that in the middle of a gunfight, you saying, "Oh, I said I wasn't gonna do this. Oh, this is wrong." Like, come on, man, stop playing. Come on. Right now, you got to worry about protecting your life.
Not only that, like this is like second, third gunfight of the movie, and now, hey man, I need to tell you something. I said I ain't gonna do no more violence.
Oh man, you know what?
Why you still hit
that clip? You know what? I'm gonna be better prepared next time. 'Cause I got that's one of the clips they showed. But I'm like, all right, dude, come on, man, dude, stop it.
Because that's one of those. You should have stayed your ass in the truck with everybody else if you wasn't gonna shoot.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the comedy in the movie, but sometimes it was like, dude, it's a little too much. At this point, once you already going, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Stop stopping. Like Martin kept stopping the action to say stupid shit, and it was kind of like, come on, Martin, you just go. You know what I'm saying? You already start running, go.
Yep.
So that was some of my issues with the with some of the action where I was like, I mean, Will was just doing being an action star, and Martin was just, oh man, this, some parts were real funny too though. What said when dude hit his head, he had a big ass knot on his head. They had this whole scene. They had a whole scene with that was funny as hell. Stuff like that was funny. Even at the end, they had this whole action set piece was pretty good. But
I really like that one. That one was they pulled that one off really well.
Right, but they kind of used Martin the same way they always use him, where he's the odd man. I was like, how is he not getting shot? Because he's clearly not an action star. It was like putting somebody who's not physically able in the middle of a situation where everybody just need to be physically able.
Right.
But other than that, man, I had a lot of fun with it, dude. I liked, and they did something at the end that I was kind of like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. How you feel about that end, dude, without spoiling it?
I didn't need it. I would have rather they had left that out. Like, even if that's something they wanted to do something with, they could have, pulled the old Fast and Furious and.
I mean, that's what they doing.
Give you the quick recap.
That's what they doing, and without spoiling the end, they said something. They gave you something that let you know that they might be doing the sequel, or they leaving it open for a sequel.
Yeah, which isn't a might anymore. Like the studio ordered a fourth one already.
Oh wow, okay. Well, it's kind of like Fast and Furious style the way they did it too, where where it seemed like it was wrapped up, but somebody's still around. It's like okay, you're gonna see them again. Kind of like one of them deals. And I'm like, okay,
it's the usual. You think that you're done with the person, got a nice little scene just before the credits. You want to do something? Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I mean that. It is what it is. It's Hollywood, so get ready for that. Bad Boys 4. They might be starting to do the.
We'll see y'all back for Bad Boys 8.
They might do an ammo spinoff. I'll probably be on board for that.
I'd really love that. Oh, by the way, AMMO stands for Advanced Miami Metro Operations.
Did you look that up?
Yeah, I went and looked it up. I'm like, because that was bothering me, man. Like, what did they actually even come up with an acronym, or did they just say that it was AMMO because they thought it sounded cool?
I knew it had to be an acronym because it ain't like they didn't use guns, So
right.
I'm like, okay, so ammo is not. It ain't like they just, had fucking guns everywhere. Like this is ammo. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
No, they didn't use guns, so I knew it had to be an acronym for something, but they never really said what it was.
Yeah.
So there we have it. But anyway, let's give it our rating, man. Wrap up.
Right.
So movie was kind of a tongue in cheek. Well, I mean, it's on par with the rest of the series. So I wasn't surprised when I got a lot of crazy action, and I ended up having a lot of fun with that. I had a lot of fun just staying with these two dudes that I know. That's what I felt like. Like, okay, y'all in a crazy movie, but I know these two dudes, these my homeboys, and I'm going to watch them do their thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt watching this movie, where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to try to make sense out of it, and I'm not going to try to I just enjoyed it from what it was, and I had fun. So it's like if I was watching Fast and the Furious, which they start off trying to make you take it serious, where they was like, no, don't take this serious. We're going to do some silly shit, and we're going to be kind of open about it. You know what I'm saying? And we got two cool guys to kind of guide you through it. You know what I'm saying? So
I think this is why this succeeds where Fast and Furious fails.
Exactly.
Because Fast and Furious shows you all this ridiculous stuff and says, nah, this is life or death, fate of the world. You got to be serious about this. And with Bad Boys, it's just like, you having fun yet?
Right.
We're having fun.
Right. It's like this is a comedy. Let me let you know this is a comedy.
Yep.
We got real stakes, but this is a comedy, and we do funny, and we do it kind of tongue in cheek. We ain't Bad Boy. I mean, Fast and Furious. They play like emotional music and to try to get you to really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, stop it with this shit. You know, you got the craziest action. Let's have some fun with it, you know? So I was cool with it. And I thought it was pretty good. So I'm gonna get this a high dope. I really had fun with it. And like I said, once you let me know that this is not to be taken serious and you go on that route and you just keep it going. And I had fun hanging out with Mike Lowry and Marcus. So that is my rating, a high dope.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to give this one a fresh, solid dope as well, man. You know, like some of the best things about this movie, and they make a point not to overstate. Is like, you welcome back. This feeling of remember this world we gave y'all. It's still here. It's still alive. It's still fresh. You know, so it's like if you ever want to know what's Marcus and Mike Lowry doing these days, here it is. You know, if you want to know if they managed to scare Reggie off or not, which somehow they didn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love to call back to that, man. I wish I
Because
had
like that was one of my favorite scenes right
Yeah.
there when they was reading him the riot act, man.
I wish I had
But
that
like,
clip right now. That was a funny ass scene for the second movie. Finish
you
your,
know,
go ahead.
and so then to see him come back, you know, it's like, okay, little dude has something. Cool, cool. You know, it's like
A perfect cameo too.
perfect cameo. You know, he didn't stick around for, 30 minutes. You know, they didn't give him hella lines of just thank you for giving us your blessings. All right, cool, cool. Anyways, back to the
Right,
movie.
right.
You know, but yeah, 100%. This is a dope for me. Also, I really appreciate how they made their narrative feel organic. Like it doesn't feel like they just shoehorned that into his backstory. You know, we just now have a backstory.
Right.
You know, and everything makes sense. Like they even go out of their way to show you like this isn't just some stuff he got up to. This is some stuff that made him who he is.
Right.
So it grounds all of it, even though it stays ridiculous.
Right. And you notice that Mike Lowry made a toast at a wedding, but he still made it all about him.
Yes, I did notice that. I did notice that.
I'm
Like
like,
even, even when they got to the toast, I'm looking like,
well,
I don't know, that's the time.
Well, no, I was like, okay, it was a beautiful thing. He started off talking about the bride and groom, and then he just kind of drifted off into what's going on with his stuff. And it's like, all right, this is our saying. Everybody say it with me. Like, what the fuck this got to do with the bride and
like,
groom?
it's like that's your advice to a bride and groom? I don't know, man.
Like, man, dude, you just you just took over the wed just to be about you. You know you did. But anyway, so that's our rating for Bad Boys for Life, Bad Boys 3. It's a good movie. Go see it. I hope it do well. I'm actually looking forward to the sequel because I'm thinking like I like to see some more of the little group they got. So they kind of building a universe almost, I guess. And like I said, I like the villain. And, if they do some more with that, I like to see that too. So, we'll see. So I guess we can wrap up this epic review for Bad Boys for Life. Go ahead and please subscribe to the channel if you like this video and you want to get some more of this. Subscribe and share with friends and other stuff.
Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell. When we put these up, we don't want y'all, going a day and a half before you realize we put some up. So go ahead and hit that notification bell. So as soon as we post a video, you'll know about it.
Yes, and we are out of here. Hey, James, I meant to ask you real quick.
Yeah.
In the background, those pistols on the wall, are those real? Can you, if somebody start tripping at your house, can you just grab them off the wall and like, nigga, you better get the fuck out of my house?
They are real.
They're not just decoration?
They're not just decoration.
Okay,
no.
all right. I was just
These are
wondering.
real.
I'm looking at them like, that boy got two old war pistols back there and shit. It's like somebody gonna start talking shit like, man, them don't shoot. All right, keep trying me.
Okay. If that's what you want to believe, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, you got 4 of them. Oh, is that a mirror? Oh,
That's
the
a
mirror.
reflector
Okay,
off the TV.